From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. That's Derek Carr.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
A short pickup to about the 25. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 14 carries, 67 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and the coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. A little juke. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a 1st-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The numbers for Zeke from last week. The hat trick +1. 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Fields throw caught by Olave. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this out to the 25. Offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now.
The tackle by Jordan Davis.
Here's Carr to throw. Got a man, that's Richie James. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. This defense for the Jets, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And every defensive team that we talk to, They spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, last drive they went 3 and out.
Carr now on 1st down. Caught out right by Renfro. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Jets force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
First and 10.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
Fields, a quick throw knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Fields. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left, and he stopped immediately there.
Jacobs, the ball carrier. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Kayvon Thibodeau. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. And New York set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air. Coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Off play action, Fields. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. To throw is Fields. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked down inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6.
That is on 6-yard line. A 2-yard pickup makes it third.
Throwing now is Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taking on the midfield logo. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again.
No gain on the play.
Now Carr on the bootleg, rolling to his left. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And this one too low. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. To throw again on second down. Carr. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now a play fake. Carr. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here.
A 57-yard attempt.
And that is no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making
50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. This offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Fields. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Max Crosby. He's the culprit, dropping it for a 2-yard loss.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. They'll give to Elliott. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Being chased out left. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. McCann's kick up and good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Raiders heading out to take over. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a jet was shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro.
Carr's pass complete to Hunter Renfro. Brings up 3rd down.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Offensively
lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Good move at the 30. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Jets will take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board. You take points when you can get it. Not easily done.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. He completes it to Olave. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Elliott going to get it again on second down. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Here's Fields. Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have a Jets first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. The Jets at 12 and 1 now to start play. And they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with extreme confidence. And you need that in order to go all the way.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
Now 2nd and 11 from the 32. Now it's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Room here to run. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 17-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. The give is to Elliott. Gets around him. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Fields tapping it forward. Jet sweep. A great move, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. This is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Back to throw. Fields. A dump off to Elliott. No gain, and it's second down. They've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Elliott is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Again, it's Elliott pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
McCann's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Carr going to throw. James has got it. Complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr, he finds his man. Complete. That's Jacobs. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
You're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Pulled in at the 24. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Fields on 1st down. He'll get this to Elliott. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Fields now to throw. Back to Elliott, and he's got him again. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. From the 50, here's Fields. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down.
Defense.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Now Fields. Olave over the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Fields. Touchdown! A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Jets will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
McCann for the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. David Bell, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Mac Jones, strong in the victory, as his guys run their record to 10-4 now with 2 weeks to go. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jets. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. On second down, Elliott once more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. To throw is Fields. And it's not.
Expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down Raiders, Carr to Waller.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And incomplete on the deep ball. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Intended for Josh Jacobs, incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 28-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. A give to Elliott running left. They juked him, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real. And it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be taken down at about the 45. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Fields tries the left side and finds Olave. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Fields. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. Fields. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23. With that, he's up to 160 yards receiving now for the ball game.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Touchdown, Jets. Ezekiel Elliott, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
Raiders, nothing.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. That time multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
So one quick easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now Carr and the Raiders dealt a 3rd and long after that sack. He'll look to throw. Forced. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Dances by him. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
To Chris Olave. A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Out of the gun, Fields. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Roughing the passer, defense.
So roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see.
Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around. And we know they'll be here before you know it.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9. at the 20-yard line.
They go to Elliott again. Ooh, with a juke. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Tackle made at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
Back to throw. Fields. And, oh, that's going to wind up in. They snap it to Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Raider D, they get the football back. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Quick slant into the hands of Darren Waller. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Throwing now is Carr. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Carr. Feet in bounds. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
Still 3rd down.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have been. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
26-yard line.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Fields. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Throwing again is Fields. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Brought down at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Back to throw. Fields. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. Touchdown! Garrett Wilson. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Jets add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Carr now on 1st down. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
To throw his Carr. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Here's A.J. Cole now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. It's fielded at the 45. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And the Jets set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
Share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Fields on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. They'll run it with Elliott. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Here's Fields. That is caught inside the 5. And the Jets are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Jets Jets are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Well, not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one. I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now here come the Raiders. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively? You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter, but do that? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kayvon Thibodeau able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's taking it around the 40. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Jets ready to get going again here on offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York? I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there. Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. On 1st down, Fields. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots. I remember reading in past history, there's a pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down. Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage. And he'll be brought down at the 27. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
In motion, the tight end. Here we go on 4th down. Fields. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it. Throwing on 2nd and long. Carr, he finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
James has got it. Complete. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Able to slither by. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Another go-around now for the Jets offense. And this team continues to stake its claim as Super Bowl favorites. They are now eyeing an 8th straight win as they begin this drive here in the 4th quarter. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Delay of game, offense.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's got a man, complete, and he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, 51 yards. And the Jets add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Raiders offense ready to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Carr. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And they're going to get this up to midfield. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From midfield, here's Carr. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, it's Carr. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. From the 35 on 2nd down, Carr. Eluding the pressure right, and he wisely will throw that one away. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's topping the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They snap it to Fields. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a 1st down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review, and this being so the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw, as this play will stand as is. Carr now on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
Brings up second and 3.
Throwing again on second down. Carr. Same target. It's Jacobs again. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive.
Play action. Pickett.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Trayvon Walker able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Pickett's throw complete to Freiermuth.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Pickett.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over.
They'll be led out by a 1st-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields. Play action. It's Fields. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
To throw is Fields. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Now Fields.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Fields tapping it forward. Jet sweep.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
The numbers in last week's ball game for Wilson.
He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Now it's Fields.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use it. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down.
The Jets at 13-1 now on the year. And they've gone a full couple of months now since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And we always talk about how a team has to play complementary football in order to really be a good squad. But I think in this league, if your offense isn't playing really well as this one is, you're not going to run off this kind of a streak.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
This one fielded at the 5.
And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long.
A first carry for Najee Harris.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down.
And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession. Here's Logan Cook now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Fielded at the 33.
And he's going to be shoved out, but not before he gets this down to the 20-yard line.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And they'll have a short field to go as this drive starts on the fringe of the red zone at the 20. Touchdown, Jets!
Garrett Wilson.
His 17th touchdown now on the season.
And the Jets get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Try him with Pickett here on 3rd down.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. He returns that punt 73 yards.
And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And it's now 14-0. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
And Pittsburgh get 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 9 yards that time. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Pickett to throw on 1st down. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They clinch the top spots of the road to the Super Bowl. It runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
3rd and long for Pickett.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he'll take it just outside the 40. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20.
On 1st down, it's Fields.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, Fields.
And he slings one that's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown.
A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And the route is on here in this first half.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. takes it at the 7. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 85 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Now Pickett.
And that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Fielded just inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Covered a lot of ground there. 81 yards on the punt return. And the Jets have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw complete there to Johnson.
So the completion good for just 3, and that'll make it 2nd down. They hand this off to Harris, and he goes across the 20 to the 22. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Pickett.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this 1st quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Oh, nice move. And he's got some space here. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the 1st quarter. They're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this lead could become.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And the Steelers set to take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. The ball popped in the air and intercepted.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
It's the gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Steelers' 28-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Fields going right back to Wilson. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Justin Fields.
A 16-yard touchdown run.
And the Jets are pouring it on. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And the route is on here in this first half.
Steelers, nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs.
At their own 22.
Pickett now on 1st down. Setting up the screen, Harris.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
It's the pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
A gain of 6. That's good for us, Steelers. 1st down. 1st and 10.
We are in for a good one as we're through one. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it.
Flush to his right. And the catch made by Johnson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
Oh, no doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays and send receivers into the...
Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, there's something special about one of those big D linemen bringing it in off the tip there. Really nice coordination.
Very much so, and I think what we've seen, and I'm going to put it at about the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, coaches play...
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. 29 yards.
And the Jets continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And a route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game,
You're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Pickett back to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Pressure coming, and this looks like a short kick. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And the Jets will take over. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other.
Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown.
Chris Olave.
65 yards.
And the Jets just continue to roll. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And now out come the Steelers. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Pickett. He gets it complete to Harris. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. The Steelers on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
McCann now for the extra point.
And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt, Charles, with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run again with Harris. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett.
And that will be incomplete. And the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
A 55-yard attempt.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And they will remain well behind. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. Touchdown, Jets. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Jets extend their lead yet again. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 23 yards on the play.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Pickett. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been stymied left and right. Converted only 1 time. This is 3rd and 10. Just keeping the play alive. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And those yard downfield. Here we go, here we go. Pickett will look to throw it here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Jets are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it. Touchdown! Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a monster game. And for the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's Pickett. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. On the give, this is Harris. Another good carry there for the NFL's 2nd leading rusher. We've talked on air and off air about his MVP candidacy. Make a case for him.
But I'm just going to tell you point blank, it doesn't matter whether he's 1st or 2nd or even 3rd in the league in rushing yardage. That's not the main deal. It's how he gets those yards and the impact he has on his ball club.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw, Pickett. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 37. Back to throw again. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Dialing up another pass here. Pickett got his man complete over the middle. That's Harris. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 24-yard line. Pickett to throw on 1st down. Over the middle, it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Again, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Kayvon Thibodeau racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. A rough couple of weeks. Center, 5 sacks last week. On 2nd and goal, Pickett. It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Boswell's kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big.
Yeah. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jets will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half.
Steelers 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Now Pickett. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Jets force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
On first down, Fields.
Wide open receiver complete.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw here going to be caught by Wilson.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
Now Fields.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. So
we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter.
From the 6.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And the Jets head out on offense here to start this 3rd quarter.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. 2nd half starts with a carry by Elliott. He stiff arms him.
168 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down.
Oh, Zeke with a quick feet, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They're going to hurry back to the line now. A 1st down carry by Elliott.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. Chris Olave. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Jets have got it on cruise control.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs. Just shy of the 30. Pickett now on 1st down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Now Harris. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
A 7-yard gain.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. Incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
From the gun on 3rd down, Pickett. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Passing numbers are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, 3rd quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. To throw on 2nd and 10. Fields. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Out to his left. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
He's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. On second down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Garrett Wilson from 21 yards away. And the Jets are pouring it on. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
McCann for the point after.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away.
Fielded right around the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized. Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the delay, here's Harris.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. A third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
He gets it complete to Harris.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run with Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Chris Boswell on for the field goal. A 54-yard attempt.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or 2. It's no good, and they will remain well behind. So it's a rare 2-miss ball game for him now. Normally one of the more dependable guys you're going to find around.
Very unlike him. One of the better kickers in the NFL. And I don't think physically or mechanically.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Jets get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. He's got this to Pickens. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Harris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Third quarter action, and we appreciate you spending your Christmas Eve right here with us. 2nd and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Pickett on 3rd and 1. The quick slant caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Steelers are able to at least get one score back. Extra point put through by Boswell. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Still comfortably on top, third quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. Here's Fields. Finds his man over the middle. It's Likely. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. 2nd and 5 now. Fields. He finds Wilson. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. Oh, a nifty juke there. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Ezekiel Elliott. His 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. You can talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
McCann now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
From the 36, Pickett. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Pickett will look to throw it here.
Johnson's got it complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
But Pickett finding Johnson there. First down, Steelers.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Pickett's throw complete there to Johnson.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Pickett right back to the air again.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Pickett setting up the screen, Harris.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
To me, this is a case of if you're not getting the ball, you've got to do your job and block for the guy who is, because there really wasn't much there. And, boy, the defense took advantage with that loss.
And the defense, they were just locked in there on 3rd. They had more guys than they could block. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Well, once again, here comes Garrett Wilson in the Jets offense.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Off play action, Fields. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. My, oh my, 237 yards rushing for him now in this one as he is closing in on 1,800 yards for the year.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Elliott will take this one in. Touchdown, New York. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ballgame.
McCann for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now this offense and Garrett Wilson headed back out. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Fields. Slant pass complete to Olave. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They go to Elliott again. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. This offense so far on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this is off the left upright, and it comes back. It's no good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Pickett to throw on first down. And, boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. To throw again on second down. Pickett.
And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack.
Kayvon Thibodeau getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. 35 yards that time on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Well, once again, here comes Garrett Wilson in the Jets offense.
And he is just 1 reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so that maybe he doesn't read the coverage correctly. Right now, though, they're in pretty good sync. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. 3rd and long. It's Fields.
And that's Elliott, complete.
And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. So close to an NFL record, but denied by the crossbar.
And you have to feel bad for him, don't you? He squeezed every last inch out of that kick. Oh, I thought he had it, but you said it. He's denied by the cruel sound of the metal crossbar.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. Finds Pickens outright. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw into the hands of Pickens.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Pickett now on 1st down.
Escaping the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Back to throw, Pickett.
Harris has it over the middle.
And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. They'll throw again with Pickett.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Boswell good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. From the 10.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
A 20th carry here for Elliott.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and he'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Draw play, Elliott. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago. And you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Jets, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Steelers,
this loss really hurts their playoff chances as they drop to 7-8 with 2 games left.
And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals.